This is Kelly's with Possibilities in Pink, and I'm going to show you how to make a Boston 6 Nugget slider box. What it is with an attached card. Take your Hershey Nuggets, decode them, stamp and make your box. You slide it in. You have an attached card, an envelope. Great for any team you want to make it for. We just happen to be Boston fans here. I'm playing Dropkick Murphy's Tessie in the background for inspiration for Boston. So let's get started. You're going to start the bottom of the box with a 4 by 8.5 piece of cardstock, white. It's textured on one side, and I'm going to score on my Martha Stewart scoreboard on the non-textured side, because I want the textured side to be the outside of the box. You're going to score all 4 sides at 5/8 and 1 1/4. So it's always going to be 5/8 and 1 1/4. 5/8 and 1 1/4. 5/8 and 1 1/4. Now, if you want to make something that has more than 6 letters, you would want to either make it an inch longer or shorter. If you wanted to use a 7-letter word, you would make it 9.5 inches by 4. If you wanted to make it 5 instead of 6, you'd make it 4 by 7.5. And the top of the box also, you would change just the length by 1 inch either way. Now we're going to cut off 3 of these squares. I don't know if you can see where the scores are. There's 4 little X's here, and we're going to cut off 3 of them on each corner. The top 2 and the one on the outside. I'm just marking these so that you can see what it's going to look like. So, I'll find my scissors. So then, you just cut your squares on the score line. I have new video editing software, but as I've never done it before, I'm completely lost. So I had to buy a manual. Well, actually, it's called the missing manual, actually, because the manual doesn't come with the software. And hopefully my videos will be a little bit better in the future, where I can fast forward, merge clips, don't have to do the whole project in one setting, which is what I'm doing right now. Hopefully this will only be 1 video and not 2. So I have to stay in that, I think it's 15-minute frame on YouTube. So you cut all your edges. Okay. So your finished piece, it's going to look like this. A little, almost like an Aztec design. Okay, now I'm going to put that aside, and we're going to do the top. The top is a 5 1/4 by 6 inch piece of dark blue cardstock, and it's textured on one side. This, you're only going to score on 2 sides, on the long sides, and you're going to score them at 1 1/4 and 1 7/8. So 1 1/4 and 1 7/8. Flip it all the way around. 1 1/4, 1 7/8. That should be all the scoring we need to do. And we're not going to cut anything off this. This should be the end of the scoring. Okay. Now we're going to do our stamping. And on the inside of the box, I like to put a little message under the nuggets. So I'm going to use the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I have, this is from Imaginisque, and it's called a ticket. And it just looks like a little, almost like a movie ticket. I'm going to stamp that up. And then I'm going to stamp it pretty much, my head gets in the way, I'm sorry, pretty much in the center of the score lines. There's a big 1 inch, 1¼ inch right here. And you're going to stamp that in there, or whatever you want your message to be. And then, I gotta get a baby wipe out here. I don't like my stamps to sit around with ink on them. These work great. And then, on this, I've already set up, on a small alphabet, it says MLB, for Major League Baseball. Stamp that up, and in the center of the ticket, I'm going to stamp MLB. So it looks like your MLB ticket stub. Okay. So then, that's all you're going to stamp on the bottom of the box. On the top of the box, we're going to stamp and emboss, because it's such a dark color, the stamping is not working. Now what I did here is, on my acrylic block, I have B space ST space N. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put little baseball buttons that I cut the back off for the O's. So I got my Versamark, and I'm going to stamp up, I'm going to do it this way, I'm going to stamp up my letters. Nice and wet. Now, because we're going to put a little eyelet with a wide rim at the end, you want to line your word up all the way to the left so that you have enough room and it won't interfere with the eyelet. Okay, so there we have that. So that goes off. Okay, now we're going to take our little tray here before this dries, because it does dry quick, and we're going to put some black embossing powder. Right on there. And we're going to tap it off. Looks like I don't know how to spell. Vanna, can I have a vowel, please? Okay. So then, I'm going to use this and put it right back in. Because I am terrible when it comes to spilling powders. Spilling powders, spilling glitter. If it can be spilled and make a mess, I do it. Okay. So, we're done with the tray. And we're done with the embossing powder. Now, that's all I'm going to stamp, because I've pre-stamped the letters for the candy wrappers. Now we're just going to really quick use our embossing gun. And heat this down. Because this is taking longer than I thought, we are going to do this in 2 videos. So this is pretty much 10 minutes. I'm going to let this cool, and I will do the second part of the video, and hopefully it'll only take 2. So see you for part 2.